Hey guys, what's up? Robert here, and today we are going to be starting a new series on the channel be called F1 My World. So basically, it'll start off in the 2022 F1 season, and there will be two new drivers scripted and myself, Robert Downey, and my friend Sam Cuthbert. Um, yeah, you will see the driver lineups now, soon enough, and then, well, yeah, there have been some interesting changes to the season. We'll also show you the 2021 standings, but first of all, we're going to get into the breaking news. So, as you can see here, Haas have now left Formula One following the bankruptcy, and they have been now replaced with Porsche F1 team. AlphaTauri declared themselves an independent team from Red Bull for 2022, and yeah, that big shock there. No one really expected much of that. And in pre-season testing, it would seem Mercedes, Ferrari seem to have some good pace, but there are some very good race pace. For the McLaren team too. Now, for the right there, you can see the drivers' transfers. We'll be going through them soon enough anyway with the car liveries. But the main ones there, George Russell driving for Mercedes now, so you can imagine that's a bit of a monopoly on the F1 transfer market. Robert Downey for Aston Martin as a spoiler. But now we'll get into the championship standings from last season. And in the constructors, well, Scuderia for Ferrari and McLaren were the two who went for that in the end. Very surprisingly, you would have expected that to probably be Mercedes and Red Bull, but no. They were third and fourth, and then the drivers, it was Charles Leclerc who beat Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris, Ricciardo, Perez, Perez, Sainz, Gasly, Bottas, and Ocon that season. The Alpine was very quick, but didn't have much yeah. Anyway, here are the driver teams, and liveries. So it'll be Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda at the Red Bull. Anyway, we move on to AlphaTauri now, and in that team we have Pierre Gasly partnered with Sam Cuthbert, replacing the departed Yuki Tsunoda. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, keeping their drivers and constructors winning drivers. No surprises there, really. Mercedes, of course, not as good a season as they were expecting. Very poor from Valtteri Bottas, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton part in that team. Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion, has retired, which left the seat open for F3 champion Robert Downey to slot in there alongside Lance Stroll. Williams said they were in desperate need of financial backing or they would have to quit the sport. So Roy Nissany is going to partner Nicholas Latifi, bringing them a very, very nice sum of cash for the season. Alfa Romeo, all expected change here as they were 10th in the constructors last season, but Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi stay for one more season. Christian Lundgaard has now hopped into the Alpine team alongside Esteban Ocon, who will be hoping for another good season, but pre-season testing does not show that. That is not what we were expecting. And then Porsche F1 team, Mazepin has now been fired as there is no financial backing required for the team, and Callum Ilott has slipped into his place. And then also, I believe I skipped over McLaren. I don't know. I think I might come back to that at the end here. Yes, I do. Valtteri Bottas replaces Daniel Ricciardo, who was retired of his own volition. But anyway, I'm going to simulate qualifying for this series. So, that is fourth place for one of our drivers. It's Carlos Sainz on pole position from Sam Cuthbert, Hamilton, Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Stroll, and Gasly, the top 10. So that is interesting. Carlos Sainz, he won the first race in 2021 actually, so it may not be the biggest surprise, but Sam Cuthbert is second on the grid in his first ever race in the sport. So yeah, we're just going to have a look at the weather here. Doesn't seem to be anything crazy going on. Tire strategy, I'm just deciding that right now. These races are all pre-recorded, by the way, and we have pre-recorded race 3, but there was an issue with that, so I will show the race results for that at the start of round 4. But anyway, it's lights out, and away we go for the first race of F1 My World, and it's Sam Cuthbert who takes the lead of the Grand Prix. But George Russell now, second race from Mercedes, I should say, comes back at him, and George Russell now leads. Shocking. Valtteri Bottas up to 4th. Lando Norris had a bad start here. As we're just changing all the fuel, of course. One lap of pushing is probably the best way to go around here. And yeah, that's a nice solid result with it being Russell, Sainz and Hamilton up front for now. Norris under pressure though. Ooh, Lance Stroll to P4. That's very good from him. The Aston not looked great last season, but they have brought some upgrades. And Max Verstappen to 5th for dropping like stones. Your Pierre Gasly now coming back at Bottas. Sainz going to have a look on the inside of Russell as well. But Bottas, yeah, we're going to use some fuel to try and keep this position from Gasly. Will it work out? We're going to have the inside line here, but I don't think it will. No. Gasly actually goes ahead and gets Lance Stroll as well. And we're very much wanting Valtteri Bottas to push on here and try and get ahead of Lance at least. They're going to go 3 wide. And it seems like Bottas comes out on top. So he's back onto 5th. That's a nice result there for Valtteri. And he can chase back after Max Verstappen. Nice, it's an eventful start. So I don't know what's happening with Charles Leclerc so far. The current F1 World Champion there in P13. Although he is leading the charge on the hardest competent tyre for this weekend. So don't count Charles Leclerc out of it for a decent race result yet. But the top 3 are continuing to extend. And it looks like Hamilton has got more pace than George Russell at the moment. And that he will be trying to make this pass, I would be assuming. As now we're going to start lap 6 of this race. And well, yeah, nothing much happening actually behind. Norris is under pressure from Yuki Tsunoda. It seems like Cuthbert and Gasly, after both being Cuthbert leading the race, of course, at the start, has fallen all the way down to 9th position here. Back to 8th now, but yeah, interesting race so far. Did not expect to be Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, although that is what pre-season was suggesting. And well, Bottas, he seems to have picked up the pace now and is able to stick with these top 5 here, but he will need to be called in this lap of Bottas, judging by his tyre wear. 20% of course, the cliff. We seem to be leaving it very late if we do even do it at all. And I think we might have screwed him over here. I think we might be too late. No, we're not. We're just about okay. But if I remember correctly, will we be okay with Lando Norris? It seems we will be. I don't know what I'm thinking of here. Clearly not the right race. Anyway, Lando is going to continue on, try and get Lance Stroll on his in-lap. See Bottas out behind Mick Schumacher find himself in the top 10 here for Porsche, doing a very good job. Of course, Bob at the Haas F1 team, so most of the crew is the same, just the car is different, the name is different. Anyway, here's F1 and Valtteri Bottas into the lead here. Had a Sainz who's on hard going to the end, but we are, haven't already mentioned this, but it's quite obviously we are doing a 2-stopper here in this Grand Prix. I feel there's a few races with much longer laps than some others, Cape Town being one of them, so I feel the 2-stop does work a lot better around here than the 1-stop, but we'll have to see that in action as Norris passes Nissany, who's doing a very solid job there in P6, it has to be said. But Sainz, even though he's on the hardest tyre, he's able to stick with Russell quite comfortably here. Or not Russell, sorry, Bottas. Hamilton is in 3rd, which means Russell, he's dropped all the way to 7th, like that's 6th. So he takes the Williams. But yeah, Norris now is going to try and make a move on Charles Leclerc. Yes, a pit. Fast enough from Norris, which is indeed encouraging. We are pushing the tyres with him, because of course he's done the extra lap this stint. But I believe we should probably tell him to stop pushing any minute now, because we do not want to end up stalled double stacking our driver. Now I've just noticed Bottas has lost the lead to Carlos Sainz here, and that is not good at all. That is very much not good if we want to win this race. And it looks like Hamilton wants to pass Valtteri Bottas as well now, so his pace has really gone down the drain. As yeah, Sainz has now pulled a 1.6 second, 1.5 second gap, and well, Hamilton is only a further 1.3 back. Although yeah, we see here Bottas does have plenty of fuel to play with though, which is always nice. As I say that, we're going for an attack with Bottas here. Both drivers, I believe, will be going 7 laps in the stint, so 14 pit lap 14 for Bottas, 15 for Norris. See back there, Russell making a move on Leclerc. Nice overtake. The only other driver in the top 10 on the same strategy as the McLarens here, which is Yuki Tsunoda, and he is just on the fringes, not showing brilliant pace himself. Bottas, though, retakes the lead here, and good, decides to not come back. Bottas will be broadened this lap to go 8 laps on a set of softs, ultra softs, I should say. Now he's going to go to supers. Okay, so we're going to give ourselves some room to push here. Lando, I believe, will stick it out for the extra laps. He's already done his 8 lap stint, so 8.77 will equal to 22 laps. So 7 laps on ultras, that's very doable. As Bottas going to come out side by side with Cuthbert, and Cuthbert is ahead. But can't Bottas use his fuel and tyres, fresh tyres here? Make him no, he's going to get stuck behind. As Lance Stroll runs wide behind, loses time. But no, this is really going to cost Bottas here. If he wants to come back up to at least Russell for a podium. Bottas, he's going to send it down the inside of Cuthbert though, and that is a good move from the Finn, and he's now going to chase after George Russell to take a podium, and I don't think he'll have much trouble doing this. He has plenty of tyres to push. And he makes the move, does he? It's tied to fastest lap, that's what it is. The gap to Hamilton, 12 seconds in 5 laps. Well, 6 laps, I should say. I think that's too much. Here we have Norris trying to overtake Gasly. We do need to do a bit of conservation on his fuel. Oh, sorry, it's Bottas' fuel that we need to conserve. And we take care of that immediately. So now the gap is, it's only 10 seconds now. Could Bottas win this race? He's closing, he's so fast out there from Lando Norris. He's got such good pace, but he's a further 10 seconds off Valtteri. He's going to make the move on Max here. Norris up to 6th. No, it does not seem like Bottas will. Hamilton takes the lead off of Sainz. That's big. It doesn't seem like Bottas will have the pace anymore. He's only getting 2nd on that lap. So he may just have to consolidate P3 here as the soft tyres, or the hard tyres I should say, are going to come back into their own at the end of the Grand Prix, although everyone does seem to have worn tyres. The cliff on these things is not too bad. Luckily for the 2 leaders. The gap 8 seconds now, with only 3 laps to go once the line is crossed. Any pit stops? Their tyres are really worn. Are all the top, well, the 4 on the 4, the top 6 who are on the hards. You could easily see this resulting in a pit stop. Charles Leclerc, by the way, I thought he might make a lot of progress this race. Really hasn't. Still down 11th. Very disappointing. But anyway, Norris passes Cuthbert, his debut. Hamilton's in. Hamilton is in the pit. And Bottas only 2nd off Sainz. Norris up to P3. Is that one? Oh god, surely Bottas is going to win this race now. He's got plenty of turbo to play with, decent amount of fuel. Sainz got nothing to defend, but Bottas down the inside into the penultimate corner. They're going to go side by side, and you can see me wiggling the screen. They were absolute joy as Bottas takes the lead on the final lap. And look at this, we're going for with Norris. The 6 seconds gap, Sainz is really going to have to hit the cliff. I don't think he's going to hit it that much, if we're going to be honest, unless his tyres absolutely go off. Hamilton's back up to 4th anyway, so it's clearly, the tyres did go, and it will seem like it was going to be Valtteri Bottas, so up to the line, who wins in Cape Town ahead of Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Cuthbert, Verstappen, Stroll, Gasly. No, Russell gets Gasly on the line. He falls into 8th. Tsunoda's 10th with Gasly 9th. Down the end of Leclerc, missing out on points. Well, that is shocking for those. Leclerc beaten by Mick Schumacher in the Porsche, which is effectively the slowest car on the grid. That is poor form from the world champion, to be honest. That is really poor form. Well, we saw it in pre-season testing. McLaren seems to be quick during the race. And oh my, have we seen it there. That's 1st and 3rd for the McLaren boys. I think it came down to strategy though, as you can see there. The strategy clearly worked out. No one else did it. And so yeah, the game massively top 3 podium celebrations. Obviously, the championship order will be the same as this race. It's the only race. There's no fastest lap for the 2022 season here. That is confirmed, but as you can see, the regs have made it very interesting. AlphaTauri seems to be very, very quick after their departure from Red Bull, and potentially quicker, to be honest. Yeah, that was the gaps. The top 4 in that race seem to be leaps and bounds above the rest of the field. Constructors, though, well, it's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, and AlphaTauri. It's not very close. The drivers, obviously. like that, Red Bull got 9, with Aston Martin getting 6.